Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Garwar's Guide to Idle Champions. I'll be taking over for Gar for a little bit today. My name is Bob Ross, and we're going to do a little show that I like to call The Joy of Idle Champions. So come along with me as we play with some of these fun little champions. Try not to make any mistakes and just make some happy little accidents. Join me, won't you? So I see we've got some people in chat. Chat is something I've had to get used to. Apparently lots of people like to watch shows on this thing called Twitch, this being one of them. We've also got one of our friends in the moderation work who's going to be pulling some questions. So I'll try to do my best. I'm not Garwar, but I know a thing or two. He's helped me with my gameplay some. So go ahead, fire away, and we'll see what we can do today. I think we're gonna play. Maybe we'll do a little variant, one of the variants today. I know Gar told me tomorrow morning for his deep dive show, he's gonna be doing Garwar's Guide to Difficult Strahd variants. I think we'll leave that to him. Let's maybe try one of Vajra's today. That sounds like a good idea. Let's see. It looks like Gar's already finished a bunch of them, though. We'll have to go to Avernus, place I don't like to go to or tell people to go to. That's just not nice. But let's see. Oh, he told me to stay away from this one. He said people didn't like watching it. So let's see if there's another one. Oh, Show of Strength. I was pretty strong back in my day, but I'm more of an artist. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. Ragged Draga's Crew. That sounds like one of those hip-hop things. I'm not very into that. Oh, let's see. What else is there? Oh, no, we saw that one already. We're going to have to pick one of these no matter what. Extreme Heat. I'm not a fan of the Extreme Heat. It makes my hair frazzle. What else? Well, I guess it's going to have to be one of those. He's done them all already, folks. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can try this. Who knows? Even if we don't succeed, well, at least we know we tried, right? Apparently it's a fiery Minotaur weekend. I'm not sure why a Minotaur would want to be on fire, but everyone has their thing, and it's not my place to judge. Yes, we're definitely going to try to use some of our favor to do some things. So let's see, we've got this little kobold guy here. Apparently he's got a buff this weekend. And there's a really spiky creature here. I'm not sure. I can't tell from the picture what he is, though. He's kind of hiding behind this other flamboyant character, who apparently has the wrong tooltip. That's sad. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, that's a Master of Disguise and a Master of Piracy, if I see it right. So Green Samurai asks, who is this guy and where's Gar? Gar's actually just right over there. He's hanging out. He's going to whisper answers to me if I need him. And he'll be joining you later on in the show. But my name's Bob Ross, and this is The Joy of Idle Champions. So we've got Jamila with a nice little buff. It gives her some confidence. Torgar, I guess this is the Minotaur they talk about being on fire. He doesn't look on fire to me, but that's okay. Maybe he'll set himself on fire later, as much as I wouldn't like to see that. But, if that's his thing, I'm not going to judge. There's a tiny little chest here. Again, this isn't a mistake. This is just a happy little accident. Let's go get a better look at it in here. Oh, yeah. It's got a little maze-looking thing on there. Nice. Oh, we get the belt of the fiery Minotaur. I dare you. Interesting. All right, I guess we need to put some champions out here on the field. This Aaron here isn't is just gonna walk all over us if we don't. I can't seem to stop her. Let's see. Shall we put Dinar out here? Kiso Thunder asks, Bob, will the Minotaur stuff not work for me if I was mid-run? Should I restart missions? Oh, I assume you mean these things. You might need to restart your game. You don't have to restart the whole mission. Just restart the game and then these should show up. I know it works for me when I try it. That works for a lot of things in this game. Just restart it. Try again. Let's see. What spec should I use with Avron? Asks Darth Junius. Well, if I remember correctly from watching Gaarawarr's other shows, Avron likes to be spec'd around whoever your primary DPS is. And then he likes that. He's a sturdy fellow. He likes those sturdy mirrors. You don't want the mirrors breaking ever. You got to have nice sturdy mirrors, both in the game and in your own personal life. Oh, it's taking quite a while here. Let's add someone else in here. We'll add Sentry. I like the color palette she has. She's made some good decisions with her outfit. Very nice. Briv. I think we'll bring another tank in. We got a lot of tanky people in here right now. And that's fine. We'll have to bring some other people in eventually, but let's take a look. Oh, he has some sprint stacks. That means he can jump through this a bit for us. I don't know that we necessarily need him to. Let's act him. Let's put him more in the tank formation here. Ninehammer, am I in the right Twitch stream? I'm not sure. It depends on what you're looking for. This is the CNE. I believe that stands for Codename Entertainment Channel. My name's Bob Ross. I'm just I'm hosting a little bit today while my friend Gaarawarr relaxes. He'll be here later in the show though. Now let's see here. Oh, I've heard good things about this Krull fella. I've heard he's a big boy. And he can really help you a lot. Let's see what he can do for me. How would you use Krull after getting him for the first time, says Group Conflict. Well, I think I've just demonstrated that. It's pretty much just put him in the formation. He can be anywhere. He doesn't really need to be any specific place. He doesn't like to be up front where he's getting hit though, because I don't really think most people like that. I think that's, in general. And I hear he likes to have these feats used here. So anything that increases his virulent strain chance. If you don't, I think you get this one just right away. And if you don't have this one yet, you can use one of his others, like maybe his pain one. Most people don't like pain, but, again, to each their own. I'm not one to judge. Oh, let's see here. Who else do we want to bring into this happy little party? I've got some options over here. Here, this Binwin fellow is interesting. We've got Brunor. I hear people call him Tutorial Dwarf. I'm not sure what that's in regards to. Oh, this looks interesting. Now, I've seen Ayla before, but this skin is, she's wearing an outfit, I think, for Halloween. That's fantastic. Looks like Dinar is too, and, well, that's not really a Halloween outfit, Krull, but I'll allow it. Let's see. Let's see if we have some more questions from the chat. Gar, you have hair now. I'm not Gaarawarr. Gaarawarr's right over there. He'll be here in a little bit. I've always had hair myself. Got a purple for Jamila from your chest coat. Thanks, Gar. Well, Gar says, yeah, he says thank you, or you're welcome. He's wondering why you're thanking him. He that's from CNE, but yeah, that's great. Thoka, who is Bob Ross? I'm Bob Ross. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have my own channel here on Twitch. If you'd like to come visit me sometime, if you just want to relax and hang out, it's a nice place, just to be calm and enjoy your day. Maybe put my channel on when you're ready to go to bed, or if you've had a tough day, come hang out with me. Let's see. Oh, he turned into a moose now. That's new. It's a moose, folks. All right, we'll add some more people in here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get through this. This is a show of strength. We don't even have a full formation yet. I think we might be able to make one. We were talking about Jamila before. Maybe we'll get her in here. I'm not really sure which specialization I want for her yet, so we'll just leave her like that. So maybe... Oh, Omen. Omen could hang out with us. He's a big, strong fella. What do we want here, though? Maybe close allies? It's nice to keep your allies close, but sometimes you want to keep your enemies closer. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll move him right over here. What's my favorite buff today? Oh, of all of these... I'm a fan of making extra money, and Jarlaxle can do that for you this weekend. I hear people use him in something called Azaka farming. So this will actually make those come out even better than before. Oh, and this looks perfectly set up to put our friend Brunor over here. And yeah, we've made a lot of gold already. We're only 22 levels in. Garwar's got a lot of favor on this account, it appears like. Just want to say I love your tree, Bob. Hey, thank you, Splotch. We have a lot of happy little trees on my show. I don't have it here today. This is more Gar's show. I'm just standing in for him for a little bit. But let's see. I'm not sure that we want Jamila in now that I've started this. Maybe we'll put her on the bench for a little bit. And then maybe we bring out another one of our friends. Well, this is actually two friends in one. Our friends Beetle and Grim. I met them once at the Dragon's Bane Tavern. Nice place. Let's get Grim in here, though. He's the one that likes to hit things. There we go. Jim Carolus asks, are the companions of the hall good for progress? That's a good question. I think if you have them all, they work well together as a team. As they say, teamwork makes the dream work. There may be some better, more optimal formations for you, but it's hard for me to say without knowing which person exactly you might have that you want to swap in otherwise. Let's see. Is Jarlaxle piracy better than disguise? Well, I mean, if you're trying to deceive people, you might want to, put on a disguise, especially on Halloween. But in terms of the gameplay, I think, if you want to make as much money as possible, you go into piracy. We have a question from one of our moderators, the wonderful Jay, who will be joining Garwar tomorrow for his Garwar's Guide to Difficult Strahd variants, where Gar will be picking two of the harder variants the community have suggested and talking people through them on stream. He says, are we getting Bob Ross tomorrow too, or does Gar have another guest for Saturday? I actually have plans tomorrow, so I could only be here today. I'm grateful Gar gave me an opportunity to join you for a little while. But who knows? Who knows what Garwar will be doing for tomorrow's show? Are there ways to advance into the game faster from group conflict? Well, it depends on what you mean. There's ways you can speed up the game and and speed up your progress. Like, we have a couple what are considered speed champions in here right now with Briv, who likes to jump real high and skip some levels, and Melf likes to do some fun little things to make your progress quicker. We can also come over here. I hope Gar won't mind. We can use some of these speed potions and make it go real fast. That'll last about an hour. Well, this one will. This one lasts your entire run. So now we're going 6 times faster than we were before. So that's real nice. Now, if you're talking about just general progress in the game, like how do you get power faster? Well, there are a lot of different ways to do that, from, working on your global blessings to unlocking your Modron core, or just advancing through the different campaigns and getting the different evergreen champions. You might want to check out the Gaarawarr challenge post on Reddit. They're doing a lot of that lately. I think they just said yesterday they unlocked Dragon Bait on stream on an account that was less than 2 months old. So if they can do it, you can too. I believe in you. Human rejection. If you have a gear card that is capped out, does that card still drop in chests? Nope. If it's something that caps, like this slot 6 that says cooldown, reduces the cooldown on an ultimate attack. Once it gets there, once it gets to its cap, which is 75%, in terms of, well, not 75% on this, but 75% of the overall time for ultimate cooldown reductions, that item won't drop anymore. And then you'll have items like this occasionally for certain champions. This one's capped as well. It's not going to drop anymore, no matter what. And it's that way for different champions. Like this one's well over its cap, so that'll never get another, it'll never see another drop. But all of these other ones, you could tell by the level, all of these others are way higher. So you can see, it never dropped again. And another question, do Briv's jumps, which we're using Briv right here. Here we go. There's Briv. He just jumped right there. Do his jump skips patron currency numbers? Oh, you get 2 patron currency for every level you complete when you're doing patron challenges. But when Briv skips a level, you didn't complete it. So, yeah, you don't get that. I'm at the stage of the game now where I've done all epics with evergreens. Congratulations. Still need Dragon Bait and Olcoria. Oh, well, okay. So you've got a little work to go. Got all the time pieces unlocked in the patron shop. That's nice. Working towards challenge accepted with Mert. Oh, that's some good progress. Is now the time to buy patron chest? Basically, once you get, if I remember correctly, once you get all of your core and evergreen epics, then when you do get an epic out of a patron chest, at that point, it's only going to drop for your event champions. So it's a really good time then at that point. Let's see what other people we have. There's some fun little questions while the game runs itself. Now we do have apparently the Halloween sale. It's funny, this looks a lot like this. It's a good thing they put Halloween sale, or I wouldn't have realized it was a different icon. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's costumes. Costumes are on sale, folks. So you can grab some nice costumes. There's one for only $7. Wow, there's a lot of them. They're only $7. Not bad. Well, that one's 14. That's a Iron Pup familiar. No, he's a good boy, though. Doesn't matter that he's got spikes out of him. Still a good boy. Check those out in the shop. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Oh, Slickshot asks, do using potions of clairvoyance before opening a bounty contract increase the gold received? That's a good question. You can test that by opening one of these without one, and then opening one with. It's hard to say. At one point, I believe that it did, because usually this is based off your offline gold earnings, like it says. And if you have something that's affecting your gold find, it should affect this too. Generally speaking, that's not what you open these for. It's a nice bonus to get some gold, but usually you just want event tokens during an event, and those are going to be the same amount no matter what. What's my Briv skip percentage? Well, I'm not on my account, but I'm on Gar's account. Gaarawarr's skip percentage is 90.8% to skip one level. I believe it just went up recently with the Golden Epic. So it's skipping almost every time now. What is your Sentry item level and redshift boost? Oh yeah, we were just looking at that. So item level this is one of those capped items. So it caps just around 250. This just went a little over the cap with the last item it got. It looks like the percentage is about 613, but I believe 600 is where you want to get it. And that brings resolution to 100% if you're at 600. So it's a little over, but that's wasted because it maxes out at 100%. That's why up here on the right, you'll see instead of 25 monsters killed, needing to move forward, we only need 17. Our Green Paradox asks, what do you think of this week's Torragar Golden Epic? I think we were looking at that. That's the Fiery Minotaur weekend. Oh, hey. Look, see, I told you it was just a happy little accident earlier that it was so small. Now it's the right size. So this is a Torragar's damage. So if you use Torragar as your DPS, then this may be something you want to look into. If you don't, then maybe it isn't. Oh, maybe we should open one of these chests that Garwar has over here. He won't mind. What? Oh, sorry. All right. I guess he minded. Didn't get anything nice anyway. Oh, you didn't understand me. Oh, no. Briv does one skip. This is just one skip. 90.8% chance. That's one skip. No, it's not. It's just a level 80. So it's not a super high item level. The more item levels you put in, the more levels he'll skip. It takes a lot, though. It takes a pretty large investment, and just to speed up your game a little bit. It doesn't necessarily make you more powerful. It just moves you forward faster. So it's up to you to decide if that's what you want or not. All evergreens unlocked in Epic. Modest core at 11. 250,000 gems. Rakadaka asks, should I be saving for the strong core or fishing for shinies and abilities? Well, I think by abilities you mean feats, and I guess that depends on what feats you're missing. If you're missing some that are really going to be helpful for you, then that may be the better place for you to put your gold or your gems. I believe Gar was buying gold chests, like spending 100,000 gems every event, just to get gold chests and make sure he got feats for new champions. I think he did that again this event, which is why he's down just below 100,000 again. So, if once you have the feats you want, if the rest are just, trying to fill out a collection and get them all, then maybe you move on and focus more on saving everything up for that other core. It looks like you've still got a few levels to go, some of the harder levels on your main core though, so focusing on that can be good. Does Briv use more stacks if he skips multiple levels? Nope. It's just he consumes 4% of his sprint stacks every time he jumps. It doesn't matter how far he jumps. So again, this is about like how fast you finish something. Again, it doesn't necessarily give you power. It just lets you move quicker through adventures. So right now, where are we? Let's see. Oh yeah, he's not jumping anymore, but he jumped 96 levels for us on this adventure, which has let us shoot up into the 200s already. We're about halfway there, folks. Halfway to the finish already. I guess I should level people up a little more, although it looks like they're doing pretty good. Oh, and look, we've hit the soft cap. No more upgrades for these people. Not bad. In the 200s. So now I don't have to worry about upgrading them anymore. And now all we have to do is worry about whether, when we get close to the end, our formation is good enough to finish or not. And if it's not, we'll just move some things around. And Gar's got a lot of potions we can use. We'll see what happens. Am I doing an Avernus quest? Or am I doing Avernus quests now? I am. This is Vajra Safar's Show of Strength. So this is a patron quest in Avernus. If we come and look, we can zoom out and see this wonderful art. I have to say, I'm usually a fan of some happy little trees. I don't see any here, which is unfortunate. There's a lot of them out here in the Sword Coast, but not so much over here, it seems. But yeah, there's only, let's see. There's the one we're doing, which is right here. Show of Strength. And it looks like Gar's got 3 more left. Zapper Overload, Bragadraga's Crew, and Extreme Heat that he just hasn't attempted yet. He's almost done. 96% of the way done with Vajra's quests. And I believe he's at 100% for Mert. Tomorrow on his Saturday show, he'll be doing some Strahd variants. Let's see if we have some more questions from the chat. How do you buy event chests with gems? Nindar Little Pick. You don't. Nope. With event chests, the best way to earn them is to use these tokens that you have and run free plays for the champion that you want gear for. If the event's about to end, and only usually if the event's about to end, you could come here and spend 10,000 tokens on a gold chest, but that's not very efficient. You could use that 10,000 those 10,000 tokens to run 4 different free plays and be guaranteed a gold chest plus 3 other chests that might all be gold or might all be silver or some mix of that. That's the best use and the best way to get them. Gems only buy your normal chests. How do you farm for Briv to get more jumping levels? Basically, the only way to increase this for Briv is to get more item levels onto Briv. So one way to do that is to open a time gate. If you have enough time gate pieces, wow, Gar's got a lot. If you have enough time gate pieces, you could go ahead and just select Briv. Looks like he's got his average item level up to 106, but this specific item is only at 80. So you could run a time gate, and you're guaranteed to get, if we click on, we don't want to do that, Gar will get, I didn't click on it. All right, he was on my case right away. We could do a time gate. You're guaranteed to get 3 gold chests if you complete the adventures in the variant in the time gate. And also in a time gate for every unique 100 levels that you go. So the first time you pass 100 and the first time you pass 200, you get awards of a silver gold chest. So you can earn a lot of item levels that way. Alternately, you can wait and do his event when his event rolls back around. Which, let's see. Is he coming up soon? I don't remember. Let's collapse all. We can go down to the bottom and see who's coming next. Let's see. It looks like Vlanya and Sentry are coming, so you'll be able to up Sentry's numbers. Simril will be getting Warden. Oh, and Crawl. So you can up Crawl's numbers. So it doesn't look like Briv's coming up in the near future. So time gates are probably the best way to do that right now, like if you want to do it with gold chests. Otherwise, and I know this is what Gar does to raise item levels for his event champions, is you use blacksmithing contracts. You can get a lot of levels. Like this is 24 levels to a random item, but if you're using multiple, there's a good chance it'll land on that item, and you just raise it overall. That can help a lot. I still don't quite get Briv skips. Once you get him over 100%, how does that work? Well, I believe the way this works is it works up to 99.9% chance of jumping one level. And once you get his item levels high enough, it rolls over. It's no longer 100%. It goes back down to 50%. But it's a 50% chance then to jump 2 levels. And then you can bump it all the way up to 99.9% again to jump 2 levels. And if you go over 100, then it starts over at 50%, but to jump 3 levels. So basically it just keeps, it's either 50% up to 99.9% to jump whatever it is, and there is no 100% guaranteed chance it rolls over to the next level. It does take quite a few item levels to get up there, though. MC Sotarkadin. I'm new to the game and just recently got Krull. Oh, well, that's a good job. Like, Krull's going to give you a lot of progress. Trying to learn how to use him effectively with Archon, but my wall is only around 250. Will my other DPS be better until I can get further into the stages? Possibly. Archon's tricky. Archon is over here in slot 12. He's currently over in another party. I believe he's hanging out with Torgar. He is. Look, he's right there. Hanging out with a bunch of evil people. Bad influences. I don't know. He may not necessarily be the best DPS for you right away if you're newer. Krull, in general, doesn't really care. He has some abilities that say he wants to help Archon, but like he has Archon's Army, and the Master's Call, and Dark Order Synergy, but ultimately, all that really matters is Draconic Plague and Virulent Strain, and those work with any champion, so try a different champion and you'll probably see a lot more luck. How do you zoom out? Oh, on the map screen. If we come to the map, I use my mouse wheel to zoom in and to zoom out. Let me see if any other keys do that. I'm not sure if there's any keys on a keyboard to do that. But the mouse wheel, you can hear maybe you hear my mouse wheel in the background. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, move around, see some things that maybe you couldn't see before. Like Koshchi's Maw. Interesting. I don't think I want to be around someone's mouth. Oh, it looks like Archon's got a tower over here. Maybe that's pointed to here. Maybe that's that, or maybe we just don't see the tower. I don't know. Map makers are interesting. Do you know when there will be more quests for Icewind Dale? Oh, Master Burglar, I do. We actually, I believe, Codename's already said that next week, the event ends on Monday, and on Wednesday they have another content release, and it's going to be Icewind Dale Part 2. So, be able to go further. Oh, it looks like we stopped progress. Did I do that? Or did we just die? You might have just died. Or maybe I broke it. No, we're good. All right. I must have clicked the wrong thing. All right, so we'll be back up here in Icewind Dale next week. It looks like we started out with 2 adventures, so they'll probably give us a couple more, whether they're here or whether we get to move somewhere else in the 10 Towns area, or maybe... Oh, I'm not... Oh, we come over here. Yeah, so it looks like we'll probably move up here somewhere. It'll be interesting to see. It's a pretty cold place there, but very beautiful. Who is this guy and why is he so chill? My name is Bob Ross. Welcome to the Joy of Idle Champions. Garwar let me take over his show for a little while today. Yesterday was my birthday. This was a wonderful gift he's given me. I hope you all enjoy hanging out with me today. Group conflict. That's never good. If you only have 10.00k favor from wherever. It is better to keep that favor than save it for when you have enough. I think the question is about when to spend favor. It looks like Gar spent all his favor. I believe usually the way you want to do it is to make sure that this little box here is clicked. And then, if you've got a button that you can press here, push it. If it lets you and it doesn't give you a pop-up, then you're great. If it gives you the pop-up, then you probably want to say no and stop. It's there basically to warn you that maybe you're going to spend a little more than you need. So once you earn that favor, spend it on something that's going to give you a little more power. When is Garwar's next guide coming? Well, tomorrow he'll be doing Gaarawarr's guide to difficult Strahd variants right here on this channel. That's tomorrow morning. As far as a written guide, I believe he's currently updating all of his old guides as he finds time. It takes a lot of time. He's got 70 champion guides and then another 10 plus other general guides for the game. So it takes a while to get those updated. Meancab asks, Bob, in your time gate, can't you sort by event time instead of popular and do that same as opening up the event achievements? Well, you probably can. Let's go take a look. I think that's right here. Oh, time to event. There we go. Let's see. So yeah, here we go. This is going to show us what's coming. The one thing that this doesn't do correctly anymore is it's showing champions from different years. This is furthest available. Let's turn that around. There we go. So see, this says Gromma's going to be coming up in the next event, but she's not. It's just Vlanya and Sentry, and that's because Vlanya arrived in Year 1. All the Year 1 champions are now only available through time gates. So when an event rolls around, it's only going to give you the most recent 3 champions. So that's the previous 2 years, which are Vlanya and Sentry, and then the current year. In the current year for this event, I believe they've said a delightful druid will be joining some of her friends. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful when you can join your friends to do fun things? I think so. So yeah, then we can see where Briv is. Briv's all the way down here. So it's going to be a while before we can get to Briv in an event. Let's see, who's my second favorite champion? Oh, I don't know if we should be judging people like this. I switched from Bob Ross's Twitch to find him here too. Oh, that can happen. On my channel, we do reruns of my show, but they're always wonderful, and we love to have you join us over there. In Merch Shop, is unlocking Warden or Jarlaxle's Fortune Favor feat a better value? Let's go take a look. So we go over to the shop tab. Oh, it looks like we've got some skins on sale over here too. Steampunk Zorbu, 30% off, $7. I like that. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, a lot more coins now too. That got changed recently. It used to only give you 2,000 coins. Now you get 20,000. That's a lot, folks. That's a lot for $7. All right, let's go look down here. We're scrolling down. We're scrolling down. Let's see. Still scrolling. So we have a choice to choose between spending 25,000 of those coins to get a 50% gold find bonus for Jarlaxle, or 20,000 coins to get Warden, because when you get a skin for a champion, if you don't own that champion already, you unlock the champion. That's an interesting decision. I would say if you still need favor in your campaigns, this is going to be a nice big boost for you. 50% is a lot. And it multiplies against the other feats he already has if you're using all gold find feats. Whereas if you unlock a champion this way, while you get the champion, you don't get any gear for them. So this is a nice bonus. But, if you're looking for actual power, or, in this case, more favor, you might want to go for that feat. My Briv only has a 30% chance to skip, but I think I've seen him skip 2 levels before. Is there a lower chance to skip more levels? I don't think he'd be skipping 2 levels if you were only 30. I think the first time you get, in the first run up, I think it starts at a low level as a base value to skip, but it's still only going to skip 1. Once you roll it over, it should restart around 50%, but maybe that changed, or maybe I'm misremembering. I am not Gaarawarr. He remembers all these things. What is that multi-party thing you just showed? Virtual Neko? Oh, well, right down here, you have an Adventuring Parties button. It shows up when you're a little more experienced in the game. I believe you have to have, I think, 6 slots that have at least 1 extra champion in them. So, and then this shows up, and you'll get, well, you know what? We can go to one of Gar's other accounts here to show this off better. So it'll look like this when you click on it. And, to unlock a new party, you would want to click this button. So it says we have to complete something called Split the Party. It's a deadly mission. Okay. Must have at least 2 champions in every bench slot. Okay, so that's why Gar doesn't have this on this account yet. He doesn't have all of his champions yet. So if you're like Gar and you don't have 2 champions in every slot, then you won't have multi-party mode available to you yet. But it gives you something to work for. I think Gar's missing... Yep, it looks like he's missing 1 for slot 3 and 4, and that's it. So he's probably going to keep an eye on that soon. Looks like he's going through Waterdeep on this account. I believe he just unlocked Dragon Bait yesterday on his show, his morning show on his channel. And now he's working towards Alcoria. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Is it viable to use the champions I like instead of meta champions? It is. You can play the game with whatever group of champions that you want to play it with. It'll slow down your progress a little bit, mainly because having those options allows you to, maybe get by something that you normally couldn't. Like, for instance, we're doing Show of Strength. Show of Strength says we can only use champions with strength of 16 or higher. So sometimes, those favored champions of you, they're playing with somebody like the Companions of the Hall or the Heroes of Erois, or maybe the Acquisitions Incorporated crew, they might not qualify for this. So you're going to have to bring some other friends along. It's good to make extra friends. Question, Jamila or Avrin? That's a very, very general question. I assume we're talking like which one would be the better one to pick up. In that case, Avrin's very powerful. It would be a good choice. What is the temperament of the flora in Icewind Dale? I hear there aren't really any trees up there. Not a lot of flora. Occasionally some winter flowers and things, and some very hardy scrub brush. But up there, it's more about the happy little freeze. Is there a D&D class for a painter? Oh, that's a good question. One might say that falls under the bard category. Bards do a lot of things other than just sing and play music. They can also write stories, and, what else is a painting but just a story that doesn't have any words? Kiss of Thunder. If you unlock a chest that holds all items for champions you don't have, will you get that champion? Opening a chest, like if you were to get a chest for the Fiery Minotaur weekend. If you don't have, say, Spurt or Puent or Torrigar, opening the chest wouldn't give you the champion. It also wouldn't give you any gear for them because you don't have them, so it would only give you gear for the champions you have. Whereas if you open a name chest for a champion, like this, but you don't have that champion, but you will keep that gear, it's kind of put in a little safety deposit box for them, and when they show up in your roster, they'll have that gear waiting for them. But on these group chests, no gear, and it doesn't unlock the champion. How many hours have I played this game? Oh, I'm a lot newer than Gaarawarr. Gaarawarr's up around 15,000 hours or so, I think, which I hear isn't that high. I hear there's people who are over 20,000. But you know, I'm probably still below 5,000. I'm newer. Why isn't Gar spending those 6,000 event tokens on his second account? Oh, probably just hasn't had time yet. The event goes until noon Pacific on Monday, so I'm sure he'll get them used before then. I believe he's been spreading all of his event tokens equally amongst the 3 event champions, so he'll probably continue to do that. Let's see. Do Averin buffs stack if there's already a buff on the champion, or does it just skip that buff that time? Do you mean his mirrors? Is that what we're talking about? A mirror image can only be on one champion at a time. So if a champion already has one, it'll go to someone else. Should I use Potions of Polish on a champion like Amelf or wait for the GE? Well, Potions of Polish you can't use on specific champions. They specifically say it upgrades a random loot item owned by a random champion to shiny, granting it 50% more power. So it's completely random amongst all the champions you own where this lands. So, I mean, if you have a potion of polish, go ahead and use it. I think Gar's saving his because he is in a rare situation where he's only missing, I believe, one. Yes, right here. He's only missing one item from all of his core and evergreen champions to be gilded. And if he waits to get this one item finished, then all of these potions of polish will go to event champions. It's a very rare situation. Not something he would tell anybody to do. I'm having issues completing the Sunless Citadel. Are there any tips or formations that work well in that quest? Well, if there's no sun, I recommend taking a flashlight. But I believe this is a Sword Coast quest. So let's go back to the Sword Coast and see. Yes, there it is. So let's see. Only evergreen champions can be used. Well, so that means you can use the 12 original champions that come with the game. And then you can also use Hitch and Dragonbait and Azaka and Olcoria and Dritzt. So those are options. So if you're having trouble with that, it's, maybe you need to unlock one of those other evergreens, or maybe you need to upgrade their gear. Because you're restricted to just those champions, it really becomes all about, do you have them all? Can you build a good formation with them? And what kind of power do they have? It'll also help to, get all your global blessings. Try to get whatever global patron perks. So these ones on the right to help give you more power. And then of course your Modron core. The Modron core is why we're already up to 530 right now. Gaarawarr's first core is fully purple. Those are nice shades of purple. Very nice, very nice. So there's a lot of power coming through from here, as you can see. That helps you get a lot further through things. So if you run into a variant where you're just having a lot of hard time, but it comes down to just the power of the champions you have,
Not necessarily that you're missing any in a formation, which that one counts because, what you're missing could just be people like Olcoria or Dragonbait. Like, you can go grab them and try, but it may just be that you need more overall power. So if I use a Potion of Polish, will it hit Evergreen Champions first before it hit Event Champions? No. Again, it does what it says. It upgrades a random loot item owned by a random champion to shiny. So the reason Gar isn't using it because he just doesn't want one of these to land on one of his Evergreen Champions. Because Evergreen Champions you can get shinies for just by opening up all these chests that you loot while playing the game. Or that you buy with gems. So he'd rather get his shinies that way for those and then make sure that all those potions of polish land on event champions instead. It looks like we're almost done here, folks. We've almost completed this entire adventure. After that, I'll probably let Garwar take back over. And we'll take a little short break while I get out of the chair, and then we'll get him in here to answer some more questions for you. Let's see if we have any more last-minute ones for me to answer. Should I maybe wait until I get Krull and then use my potion polish just in case RNG favors me? Well, that's up to you. Krull doesn't really need items to do well. He just needs feats. He wants that second feat. We were talking about that earlier. He wants this increased toxicity feat, which comes out of gold chests. Gear is nice for him, but he does a lot of the stuff that makes him really, really strong in this game revolves around Virulent Strain, increasing the numbers of plague stacks on things. Does Shiny carry over to Epic if you get it on a lower rarity? Of course. If you look over here, you'll see that like Shiny wraps around the entire slot. It isn't about just one item. It's about the whole slot. So if you get a Shiny white item, as you get the higher rarities, they're going to stay shiny as well. And it's the same way with your item levels. As you get item levels on an item, and then you upgrade it to different colors or to shiny, all those item levels stick around. Oh, it looks like we're almost done here, folks. We've almost shown our strength, and it looks like this happy little formation we made was just enough to get us by the boss. It may not be perfect. It may not be the most optimized, but it was enough. It was enough, and that's all that matters. What's your secret to inner peace? I think just realizing that, you're enough. You're enough. Like this formation, you can be enough. You don't have to be perfect. I think that helps a lot. So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to complete this. And I'm going to step away, and we'll let Gar come in and finish the second half of the show. So hang out just for a moment, and we'll be right back, okay? Thanks, everyone. Hey everybody, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with Bob for an hour. I always enjoy spending time with him. Whenever I get stressed out, I go over to his Twitch channel. I believe it's just Twitch TV/Bob Ross. Check it out. Yeah, I will let everybody know you said bye. He had to head out real quick though. He's got to eat dinner. It's early. When you're older, you eat dinner earlier. I don't know why that is though. So let's see. Let's see what else we can get done today. He took care of Show of Strength, which some people have some issues with, but, Vajra's one of the easier patrons to do that with. Well, let's see if we can knock out something else. Maybe Rakadraka's Crew? This one doesn't look too difficult. I don't know. That one just seems to be like, you've just got to survive it. Extreme heat. Oh, this one's still broken. Yeah, it says every 3 seconds each champion takes a percentage of their max health as damage, but it's not each champion. It's only one. So we'll do one of these others. See, he went through a lot of questions. That's amazing. For someone who doesn't do a show like this every week, Bob just nailed it. Nailed it. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Do you get feats for event champions out of normal gold chests like those for evergreen champions? Yeah. All feats come out of normal gold chests. They don't come out of anything else. So that makes it easy. Let's get some speed in here. Do we get Shandy? We do. Hey. We'll knock this out post-haste. Oh, that was the wrong button. And as Bob mentioned earlier, tomorrow, join me for Garwar's Guide to Difficult Strahd Variants. I believe, let me check my list. Everyone gave feedback this week on the subreddit I had posted, asking people to tell me what you think are the difficult Strahd variants so that we can try to test them out. Maybe come up with some strategies for them. So let me see exactly what we came up with. Let's see. People mentioned things like Strahd's Show of Strength, which we just did the Vajra version for. The Gargoyle, which is Alcoria's unlock mission. Wait What, which is also a mission from Waterdeep. A Tale of Two Champions, and Veteran Brigade. I think we're going to go, I believe, if I remember correctly, Show of Strength just doesn't have enough people available yet. That's going to be something people have to bench for a while and just accept that you're not doing it for a while because there aren't enough champions to do it. Tale of Two Champions is just a favor check, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, but that one's just, do you have enough favor to do it? So we'll mess around with 2 of these 3, so either the Gargoyle, Wait What, or Veteran Brigade, like 2 of those 3 we'll talk about tomorrow. So if you've had troubles with those, we'll go over them. I would try to do them all, but I can only like have one prepped and then try to complete the other one on stream. Like doing all 3 on stream just doesn't quite work in an hour. Not really at all. Let's see. I signed up for the newsletter, but never got Hitch. What do I do? Put in a ticket. Yeah, Sean will take care of that. That's a Sean thing. Sean. Let's see here. What are the questions? Bob went through like all the questions, folks. So if you've got more questions for me, fire away, because we've still got like an hour. Bob went through 53 questions in an hour. That man is amazing. I think that's more than even I've done before. And I talk faster. I don't understand it. He's a legend. Does anyone know the answer to this one? For Jamila, what exactly counts as a tank hero? Anyone that has tanking as a role. So any champion that has tanking as a role. And it shows up right here in the rules. So it's not going to be, even though Dinar's a big boy, he doesn't have a tanking role. But Tyrell does, right? Ayla does. So anyone with tanking in it. They don't have to be in the front line. They just have to be a tank in terms of roles. And yeah, it doesn't matter what format they're in. They just need, like Tyrell can be in Moonbeam. He just has to have the tank thing. Let's see. What's the shiny drop rate in gold chests? Any kind of chest. Any chest that drops gear. So shiny, gold, named ones, group ones, patron ones. It's 1 in 1,000. But there's no RNG protection, which means most people refer to that as a pity timer. So it's not like if you open 1,000, you're guaranteed to get one on the 1,000th. No, there isn't. You just got to try and do your best. Who else do we want in this? I feel like we kind of want a similar formation that we just had. Although I may use some Gromma. See, like Gromma's a tank champion, so she would count, and she doesn't have to be in the tank line, although, you know, we might want some dinar. And then some kind of DPS. I really like this Ayla skin. I just picked that up yesterday because it was on sale, and now I'm like, yeah, I love it. Now I just want to use Ayla all the time. You know what? Let's use Farida. And we're going to do that one. Speaking of, we need to get Ayla out there. I'll put her at the top, if it'll let me. There we go. The game's moving a little too quick for me to actually move things around. Oh, why am I not using familiars? That's better. Bob's better at this game than I am. If I haven't unlocked Strahd, does opening Strahd chests still work correctly? Oh, like if you got one from a code. Yeah. Yeah. It's still only going to open for... You're still only going to get gear that for champions that qualify for Strahd. So you need to look at his restrictions and basically do a list, right? Like who's gonna open for each specific patron. What's the drop rate of feats from chests? 1 in 25 is the average. Like that's what it's supposed to be, but there's no pity timer or RNG protection in that. So you could open 100 and not get any. Or you could open 5 and get 3. What's the optimal amount of familiars one should strive for in this game? Everyone's going to have a different answer for that. I mean, right now I'm using how many? I've got 10 champions on the field, and 1 on each champion leveling. Then I've got 1 in click damage, and then 6 on the field. So that's 17. And then I could have more familiars on ultimates. I mean, it's really like how many works for you. I only have 2 on my new player account. I'm looking forward to getting a 3rd, but you know, like see Dramara infinite familiars basically. Yeah. But you know, it depends on how you're going to do everything. Like you can play the game and just come back and manually level up champions every now and then, like tab in and out, and while you're doing other things, which is how I played the game forever. And I just accrued familiars over time. You know, having 1 on click damage and multiple on the field at the start of a run lets you get through the beginning stages of a run real fast. So, yeah. I don't know that there's any specific number anyone would ever agree on. I only have 1 Esmeralda chest, but will get an epic in 9. Will the game remember my timer for future chests, or should I store up a pile? Oh, it remembers. Yeah. It remembers. Any tips for the first core quest? For Split the Party. So generally speaking, well, here, let's hop over so we can talk about this while looking at the requirements. And it's killing me that I haven't thrown other champions in over here. So let me do that too. How do we want to do this? We want to do this and this. Yeah. Let me get this set up and then we'll talk about that. Progress. We need progress. Did anybody else in chat tune in to Griddle Champions this morning and see Sean's gelatinous cube outfit? Or prop? I don't know, Sean. Do I call it an outfit? Was it an outfit? Props to Nevada for making that for him. It was neat, I will admit. It is an easy way to go. Everybody heard the outfit. Yeah, it was a crunchy outfit, but I thought it was good. Let's see, we're going to want gold. Okay, now they can start progressing. All right, so adventuring mode. Unlock a new party. Split the party. Yay! Complete area 50. So, I mean, you don't have to go very far. It is deadly in the sense that all of these difficulty ratings, for those who don't know, all of these are based off the amount of favor you have available for this mission. This is a mission that is outside of campaigns, so none of the favor you have matters. Your global blessings work, your global perks work, and you don't have a Modron core yet, so that doesn't matter. In future installments of this, it might matter. So you can't build favor by doing runs. That's not a thing. Areas get harder much more quickly, and they do. That basically means that like health scales faster, and damage does. That basically they ramp things up faster. Click damage is reduced to 0 after Area 5, and Fire Breath potions can't be used at all, so it is truly reliant on you being able to build a formation. This is one of those, we have favor checks in the game, like Tale of Two Champions. That's a favor check. We have power checks, which is things like, I'm blanking, Prisoners of Lolth currently. Like, there are things that you just, you need power for. Or you need favor for. Well, this has nothing to do with click damages. This can't do with potions. This is all about, can you build a formation? So this is like an int check, I guess. What's your idle champion's intelligence at? So once a champion is placed in the formation, they can't be swapped or removed. So this is an important line. This basically means you have to go in with a plan. There's no, unfortunately, sorry, Bob, there's no such thing as happy little mistakes in this adventure. Whatever you put in, you gotta use. And then in 3 different areas, half the champions in your active formation are removed from the party and locked for the remainder of the adventure, and it's chosen at random. So this means you're going to be using, you go in with at least 24 champions, right? Because you have 2 in each slot. You're going to lose half of your party here, half of your party here, half of your party here. So starting off up through Area 13, I think the first strategy is you come up to Area 5 with click damage and you farm with click damage for a while and make some money, and you level up your champions. But you only use like 2 champions. You get a tank and a DPS, basically. And you try to use just those 2 champions to get past 13. Because that way you only lose 1 person from your party, right? Once you're on 14, you're going to add more champions, because on 15, potentially, you could end up with a full party. Because on 15 is the hardest boss in the entire thing. The big check is a tree that is armored and hits your whole party with AoEs. So you're going to have a solid tank. You're going to have health share going on. You're going to need potentially all 10 slots filled, but basically fill 1 slot at a time. See if you can get by it. Try to die, go back, reset, try it again. Make good decisions about what champions you're putting in, because you don't just want to put in your garbage champions, because you might get stuck with them, right? And you don't necessarily want to use all your good champions, because you might lose half of them. So be smart, leave yourself some options for after you get past that boss. But potentially on 15, potentially use everyone, if like all slots if you need to. Once you're past 15, you're going to lose it at 27, right? You'll lose half of that party. At that point, it's fine. You should be able to just, through farming favor, if you need to stop and farm favor, be able to push all the way through to 37 with whoever you had left over. If you lost your tanks, you might have to add a tank, but you should be able to get through 37 with whatever was left after 27. And then once you get to 38, fill your formation up and power through it, but make good decisions about who you put in your formation. At that point, you're not going to lose anyone, so build the best formation possible at that point. We'll probably do a deep dive Gaarawarr's guide to that at some point. I just don't know when. Right now we have, like I said, this weekend we're doing a deep Gaarawarr's guide to difficult Strahd variants, where we'll tackle 2 of those 3 that I mentioned earlier, and talk generally about things like Tale of Two Champions, like how does that work, and et cetera, et cetera. But those aren't so much strategy type adventures as they are just, like I said, favor checks or power checks or champion checks. Like, do you have enough? All right, let's see what else we got going on. Oh, we should go back to the other account. Boom. Where are we at? Where are we at, playa? 320s. Excellent. Where was I in the question list? Do you normally go AoE spec for Dinar? I do not. Operations 2000. I usually go, oh yeah, like the single spec. Um, on something like this mission where you're getting enemies just all up in your face, if you're not able to kill them right away, the AoE spec may make sense, right? Because you're shoving, then you can shove entire groups off your party if you need to. But um, I tend to go the single. I tend to go single target. Remind me why Grom is in your speed formation. Why not? Yeah. Like Bob said earlier, formations don't have to be optimal to be useful and functional and enjoyable. If they have to be that way for you, okay, that's great. But not everybody has to play that way. If I run into a problem, I'll adjust my formation. But until then, I'll enjoy Grama. Rakadaka. In multi-party, is there a way to save familiar positions in a formation without locking in specific familiars to specific spots? No. The save formation locks everything in specifically where you've put them. I think they were just talking about that yesterday on the dev stream, if I remember correctly. And the challenges around that, because I guess there's a lot of people that would love to just pull, like me, who would love to just, when I make a formation, have it mean that if I were to save this, have it mean that I just want 6 familiars out here, or up to 6, so that when I load this formation in, it just loads 6 available familiars. I'm totally okay with that. I would love that. Because we're running multiple parties, it's very hard to save formations that have specific familiars in them and remember which one to use where, and going back through and trying to adjust all of your formations to work with other formations when it comes to familiars is a giant headache and not one I'm willing to do. So I would rather pull out of a pool. However, there are people who, for aesthetic reasons, want, say, Juniper always leveling up Evelyn, or Crowy always on Binwin, or Boo always on Minsk. And I guess those people's desires over are over, like, making it so that they're trying to find a way to appease both. I don't know. So yeah, go watch the dev stream from yesterday, like the second hour. I believe they talk about a lot of that. I would just like functionality, but yeah. Let's see. Question. Using X100 for champion upgrades, I tend to stick with upgrade until I hit soft cap, then shift to 1X. Any advice? Do it however you want it. I have so much favor here that it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not wasting any favor if I go over. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I am, because I went over their soft caps with it, but I have so much favor it doesn't, like, I'm just sitting on gold now. If you are not that way, like when I'm on my other account, if we hop back over here, you'll notice I have it on upgrade. Even when I have it on 100, which I do sometimes if I'm trying to figure out where the most efficient use of my gold is, I'll hold down the Alt button. If you'll see, it changes, like here, 25 to 10. That tells me how much, that tells me I can make it to this next upgrade. And if I hold Alt Shift, it automatically buys it for me, right? So sometimes I'll use, X100, but I'll Alt Shift it so that I can just buy one and buy efficiently, but it just depends. Otherwise, I'm usually using upgrade as well. So yeah, it's just like, what can you afford? Can you afford to waste gold? If you can't, then make sure you're just buying one upgrade at a time and you're doing it efficiently, where the upgrades that you're buying aren't like self-damage for your supports, but instead are, primary self-damage for your primary DPS and then support buffs for everyone else. Like, that's the priority order. Just got my second familiar. Where should I put it? Ked, so on my new player account, which we were just looking at, here, we'll go back over there. I need to change it. So for the start of an adventure, I put the mage hand down here and I put the pixie out here. And that way the pixie kills things with click damage. However, my click damage is at 95 and the level I'm on is 104, so I can take this off. It only really kills up until roughly an equal level. So I can put them both on the field and they'll slow things if I want. Or I can bench them and then put them roaming on my ultimate bar. So usually they're roaming the ultimate bar. Once I get to the point where click damage can't kill anything. Unless I have fire breath potions on, right? Like, so it's situational. You going to get that last shiny today? Green Samurai, doubtful. Doubtful. I won't be opening these. This will be the next event is when I open my silver chest and my gold chest. What we can open, though, is my Esmeralda chests. I saw Bob open one earlier. I almost smacked his hand. Okay, so we've got, my collection is looking good. I've got all the whites and greens, so I'm happy. So I know that the next 2 chests I open are going to give me, for Esmeralda, will give me blue. Should give me these blues. The downside is it might give me an epic above one of these gaps. So we'll see what happens. Ideally, I end up with the 2 blues, and then we just fill in epics. And because of how new chests work, if we go over to the chest screen, you'll see a pity timer for a new chest, like a brand new chest of the game, always starts at 4. So because I have 24 chests, I will get a minimum of 3 epics out of this. So I'll get my first pity epic at 4, and then I'll get 2 more pity epics at minimum. I may do better, but yeah. Let's see what we got. Okay, there's the blue. It's perfect. Let's see, Miss Choppy. There's the other blue. All right, so now I just care about the epics. She slices, she dices, she beheads. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, didn't get it. So we went all the way to the 4 on the first one. So we get the pity timer. Oh, and it's training montage. Nice. Nice. I don't know if I know a lot. Oh, geez. And we just got another one right off the bat. I know a lot of people have been talking a lot of trash about Esmeralda, but I'm going to say on stream right now, I think she's fantastic. The only downside I have to her right now is that she lags my game out. I don't know if they fixed that yet, but man, something about her threat tracking or something really slows everything down. But on my new player account, I used her in my Dragon Bait unlock. And man, oh man, she just destroyed Valindra. Because not only do you get a damage buff for your team against undead monsters, which Valindra is, she also automatically makes every hit that takes off a chunk of armor take another one off. So we killed her twice as fast as you normally would. I mean, it was literally just melting her hit points away. It was fantastic. I didn't even have to use an ultimate. Like, to kill her, we just AFK'd with auto attacks through Valindra yesterday with Esmeralda, Dinar, and Avron in the party, with Hitch as my DPS. So, yeah, she's fantastic. In her element, she's great. That's what I want out of champions. I want a champion that's good in their element. I don't want Krull, who's just broken overpowered everywhere. Like, Krull should be broken overpowered, or not. He shouldn't be broken overpowered, but he should be really strong with Archon. And just kind of with others. Yeah, it doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. So let's see. So we got 2 epics. So again, I could still potentially only get 3, even with getting one right after that 4th. Are we going to go all the way to the timer again? I'm loving all these bounty contracts. Oh, nope. We got another one. We got another one before the timer. So we'll get 4 at least. So there's threat tracking. Wow. Did I just get like the 3 best ones right off the bat? Hold on. Wrong slot. There. Training montage, the Devil's Playthings, and threat tracking. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I mean, those are all of her special abilities. So yeah, I mean, I would like damage all champ ones, but we get all of the playful stuff down here that I think is fantastic for her. So, all right. Let's see what else we get. We should get at least 1 more. Nope, never mind. We'll get 2 more. Yeah. Yeah. Streamer luck. 100% streamer luck right now. Limb of Launching. How do you think I scaled the walls of Strahd's castle? That's fantastic. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna end up with a lot of gear for her. This is just how it works. Sometimes I get like 2 epic. Like I would have been guaranteed 3 out of that. That's what I shoot for, is 24. I hope that the tokens that I get me 24, because then I know I'll get 3, and I can ease, and then I can get the other 3. I mean, that's 30 patron chests, right? Which is a lot. I'll grant you that. But I also save up a lot of patron currency, so it's not bad. So we'll be able to fully epic her out today. Should get one more here. There we go. Savage Blade of the Hunter. I alone hunt the nightmares that haunt Barovia. Nice. If you didn't tune in to Bardic Inspiration earlier this week, they did a song for Esmeralda. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Go watch it. It's up on the CNA YouTube channel. The playlist is now visible, even like if you go to their playlist option instead of just their front page. So you can watch all of the fantastic Bardic Inspiration stuff. That's honestly my favorite show. Champions of Lore is coming up as the underdog to potentially take over that slot, but they might be co-favorites. I like me some music and I like me some lore. So, all right, let's see. Are we gonna get no? Didn't get one last pop of streamer luck, which is good. That would have been okay. So we just need one more. We need the dueling rapier. So the thing with Esmeralda is she qualifies for all patrons. And instead of, like, I have a lot of time gate pieces, right? I could run a time gate and try to get it. But I have tons of patron currency. So I have 2 EO5 in both Strahd and Mert, and I have 9 EO4 in Vajra. So for the ultimate irony, we're going to try to fully equip Esmeralda with Strahd chests. Oh, it didn't buy it. Why? Come on. There it went. We're just going to buy these one at a time, because it just makes sense to me that Strahd would gear out Esmeralda. Hey, and we got that streamer luck. That's so streamer luck. That was the first one. 1 in 10. I'm sorry, folks. It's not supposed to work that way. It just does, though, eventually. So there we go. A gift from Irina Kolyana, the Burgomaster of Barovia. So there's full gear. Strahd's like, no, I'm only selling you 1. Take it and leave. That's what I'm saying. That's how that happened. So yeah, so back up to full epic, and now what we want to look at. So you just get the full behind the scenes of how I level up my champions. So if I had only gotten the 3, right? If I'd only gotten the 3, like the 1 from the first 4, like full pity timer, 1 from the first 4, and then the 2 more from the other 20, right? I would have just opened up chests. I would have opened up like 10 Strahd chests to grab 1, and then I would have opened up 10 Mert chests, and then probably come back and done 10 Strahd chests to get the last one, right? If I went full pity timer, that's what I would have done. Now that she's in full epics, now I can come over here with blacksmithing contracts. I'll use a small one right now just to see where she's at. So her average item levels now are 46. My current floor, meaning where I try to have a minimum at, is 80. So you'll see all these champions, some are higher, some are lower, but the ones that are at the low end are all at 80. So like Avron's at 81, strongest buffer in the game. I only have him at 81. I complete all the content with him at 81. I don't need him higher. Zorbu's only at 99. Krull's only at 80, right? So, I try to keep my Freely's at 80. I try to keep the low end at 80, right? So what we're going to do, since she's at 46, we're not going to need a whole, I'll throw a large one at her and see where it lands. Oh, hey, that was a good place for it to land. Training montage went up. All right. And then we'll probably use some blues. Yeah, she's up to 50 with that. We'll burn a couple blues. Well, we'll just do one at a time and see where they go. Level up. Oh, and again. All right. Yeah. Good spots. Let's see if we can get at least an upgrade for every item. At least one. Come on. Give me something on the blade. Seriously? You know, I got to stop and I got to look and see what it is. I don't want to go over 80. She's up to 64. Okay. And I'm not doing the math to be able to tell me how many I would be able to use. So she's up to 64. Come on. There's one. Okay. So at least got one upgrade on everything. You know, let's just go to 10 remaining and we'll done it out. And you can math this out. So I need to average 6 for each more. Or 6 levels total. So nope, that's not the green I want. That's the green I want. So basically I just got 2 levels here. 2 levels there, 2 levels there. So that means I just went up 1 and I needed 6 more. So I used 3 to get 1. So I need 5 more. So I need to use 15 more. Okay, that was 10. Let's go take a look and see where it's at. Yep. So 78. So I should be able to get there in just a couple more. You know what? Let's stop at 3 and just to make sure where we are. That's 79. So I'm going to bring it home with some white. Let's just throw 4 at it and see if we got there. I mean, you can really find... Yeah, there's 80. So I'm good. I don't care where they landed. I mean, it's nice. We got wow, 100 levels on the Savage Blade of the Hunter. Only 46 on that one. About 100 on that. 50, 79. Yeah, so those are fine. So now she's at 80. So all my champions are at least at 80. Why level 80 in chat? When I first started, like I said, that she was at 46. And I found that champions start like... If I got really good luck, they're in the 40s. If I got really bad luck, they could be in the 60s. But I had really good luck on a bunch of champions. So when I first started trying to create a floor, the first floor I created was like 50, right? Because I had so many that were like in the 40s with full epics. And I only put blacksmithing contracts on something once they're full epics, because I know in that hunt to get all my epics, they're going to get more item levels. So once I had them all at 50, then I looked at how many blacksmithing contracts I had, and I said, okay, well, the next spot is 60. And then I worked everybody up to 60 and then to 70, and now I'm at 80. I don't have a ton of blacksmithing contracts. I mean, there's a good amount here, but this can't get everybody that's at 80 up to 90. So the next floor would be 90. But this is enough so that in the next champion, with the next champion, I can make sure they're at 82 or 80 as well. I shouldn't say 82. For the Marzawar challenge, was the question of using older chess codes that are still available allowed? Oh, any chess code that is legit you can use. Yeah, I went through the very first day on the very first stream and used like every chess code on the wiki. I'm trying Avram, but don't know if it is better to make the illusion last letter longer or be stronger. Longer. You want sturdy mirrors, because 4 of those mirror images out is better than just having 2 out that are a little bit stronger. Like you want all 4. The buffs are much better. When can we see the DPS or support tier list? Oh, I think Bob mentioned earlier that I'm still trying to update all my guides. I have 70 champion guides out now, and like 10 or so or more or somewhere, I don't know, in their other general guides. I got to get all those updated for year 4, and then I can create new stuff. Yeah. Starting those tier lists, man, I hate tier lists. So I don't have a lot of push and drive to do more tier lists, but they will happen eventually. But the DPS and the support ones require me to do a lot of spreadsheety stuff, because it's not just I feel like my tier lists aren't just I feel like this. Especially like for the speed stuff, it's kind of like I try to get math involved as much as possible, and then there's just, then you involve reality. So for the DPS and the support, and I want to make sure that there's a lot of math in there to make sure that they're grouped primarily based off their mathematic capabilities, but also have, some accommodation for just, the bonuses they bring to a formation that are not always mathematically quantifiable. I mean, they're somewhat mathematically quantifiable, but sometimes it's like, how do you compare the gold find that someone like Paulton brings versus like and added into the buffs he brings versus someone who just brings a lot more buffs? Like, you know, it's going to depend on where you are in the game. Like if you're already hitting soft cap, then you don't need his gold find. But if you're not, you know, then that might be more valuable to you. Like there's got to be some judgment calls made in there. Can you talk more about what Ayla does in your party as the pack is in the shop? You mentioned if you don't already have the champion, you'll get her with the skin and you get some chests to gear it up. Yeah. So the current pack is, oh, you know what? What was it? 7 chests? Hold on. Let me look on the other account real quick while this is trying to kill that boss. Yeah, you get 7. So the Valkyrie Ayla skin and feat pack gives you her Storm Warden feat, which buffs her Storm Soul ability by 80%. And then you get Ayla, and then you get 7 chests, which isn't a lot of chests, but it's a good amount. I mean, it's enough to get her at least in all, well, it should be mostly blues. Blue and green gear at least. And you get a shiny out of that, right? And it's $7. It's a pretty good deal. But what Ayla does... Oh, hey, we beat that. We're coming to a wall. I'm going to have to swap some people out here. So the strengths of Ayla, her Storm Aura, this is what a lot of it revolves around. So every 2 seconds, a random enemy approaching the formation is primed. Primed enemies take 50% more damage from all champions, right? So that's the start. So you'll see that when they come on, these are moving real quick, but they'll get a little lightning image on them. And I chose the specialization that makes sure that she primes like more often. Storm Soul, this is what that feat buffs from the pack. When Ayla attacks a primed enemy, they're stunned for 2 seconds, so you get some crowd control. And Electrified, increasing the damage they take from all champions by a number that varies based off stuff, right? So mine's at 1 EO7 more damage for every alive electrified enemy. So this is why I choose the spec that makes sure that they're all electrified. So basically you're taking 1 EO7 and multiplying it by the number of enemies on the screen to get your damage bonus, and that enemy is electrified and they're taking that much more damage. So it starts off at a 50% more damage, and then it jumps up to this incredible amount of more damage once they've been primed by her, or once they're fully electrified by her. Raging Storm, when Ayla attacks an electrified enemy, all nearby primed enemies are electrified, and then all nearby electrified enemies are stunned for a half a second. So this is another boost. So basically you hit an electrified enemy, so somebody you'd already hit that was already primed, and then it's like an AoE group. So this is great once they start stacking up on your team. This basically, you attack one in that stack, and it's going to electrify everyone, and they're all getting that major debuff. Shielding Storm is what creates this gigantic shield on her, which makes her such an incredible tank. This is a non-capped shield, so it can go up just an outrageous amount. When an electrified enemy attacks Ayla, she gains a temporary HP at 10% of her max health for each alive electrified enemy. So the more enemies that are on the screen streaming in that she ends up electrifying, the tankier she gets. So she's not as tanky, say, on this boss level, but she gets even tankier on like enemies or levels where there's like 100 enemies on the screen, or if you get 50 enemies on the screen, you're getting that huge bonus to her shield, right? So like 10% of her health, if there's 50 enemies on the screen, that's 500% of her health. So that's what I mean by uncapped. Like this shield is uncapped in the sense that you can have 100 enemies on the screen. She's going to get 1,000% of her health as a shield. It's just, Calliope's capped at 200% is the comparison we're talking about. It's just wild. Stormcaller is the spec choice I did. So it reduces the cooldown in Storm Aura by 2 seconds, which is that's this one. So it normally says every 4 seconds a random enemy approaching the formation is primed. So 2 seconds means you're getting it on basically everyone. And then she has an Erois synergy, and this is not to be overlooked. As we get more, I think we have one more Erois member to show up, but she contributes to the Erois synergy pool 100% per electrified enemy on the screen to a max of 10,000%. This basically means up to 100 enemies. That's why they're spelling that out for you, so you don't have to do the math. Electrified enemies then take additional damage equal to 25% of the total Aroa synergy pool. So that's going to get... Basically, it takes that damage bonus up, like the one that's already doing tons, and makes it even bigger. So if you add more... Right now she's got... It's her and it's Ayla, or Sentry, excuse me. Ayla and Sentry. But, you know, if you had more members of the Heroes of Erois, that debuff would get even bigger. Oh, this closed captioning is doing its best, folks, I promise. All right, we need 16 more levels. Farida's not quite doing it at the moment. I feel like we could just swap in a buffer, though, and she'd be fine. So we'll take out a speed champion that we don't really need. And we'll put in a different buffing champion. So we'll take Deacon out. I mean, I could have just put Krull in, but let's see if we can just... Nope, that's not going to be enough. Yep, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, just needed more mirror images out. And then she had the damage to do it. So that should push her through. Although we're not getting a speed bonus from Sentry anymore, which is... She's still giving us other bonuses. All right. Is it better to push the wall without fire breath potions? If you get to your true wall, fire breath potions won't work anymore. So if fire breath potions are killing things, you're probably not at your wall. When you get to your actual wall, yeah, fire breath potions probably not going to do a whole lot. It's more because... it just depends. You'll get real swingy, especially if you use like Krull, because you're going to get enemies building up like this, and then you're going to get a spike on your bud that takes your bud up super high. Like we went to 182, but we haven't hit. And then normally it looks like it's 180, right? Or maybe even a little lower. So the fire breath potions will clear for a little bit and then go away real quickly. So, I mean, you can use them, but ultimately, if you don't have the damage to back it up, it's not going to matter. They're not going to get you any further than your damage would. They may just help in certain situations. Why do you save gold chests? Is there a gain to it? Nope. I save the silvers and the golds. Hey, we finished it. I save the silvers and the golds specifically because I have every single one of my champions in epic gear. Like all of them. So I don't... And I have all of the feats. Like all of the gold chest feats, excuse me. All of the gold chest feats. I haven't bothered buying all of the gem feats yet. So I don't need to open them right away when I get them. So what I do, again, this is more of an in-game strategy. What I do is I save up all of the silvers and golds in between events. So I opened up an outrageous amount at the beginning of this event, like 2,500, I think, or something. 1,500, 25, I don't remember at this point. I opened up a lot of silver chests, and then I just started letting them accrue again. And all of those are looted. That's all just from playing the game. All the silver ones. The golds are a combination of drop loot off of bosses and all the chest codes that we give out, like the one down there today. Oops, sorry about that. And then when the event starts, the first stream, usually like the Friday stream, I open up all the silvers on stream to let people see if I get any shinies. And I burn all of my contracts, all of these bounty contracts, like usually on the first day of the event. So I have tons of event tokens. And then what I do is I open up all of the gold chests that I have at the start of the event as well, because the opening up this refills all of these. So I'll end up with a couple hundred of these because I'll buy some as well. And then I get tons of bounty contracts. And the reason I do that is it basically it evens out the loot that I get for every champion. So all of these bounty contracts, I will end up getting roughly the same amount of tokens, because I save them all up for that time period. I burn them all. I have, 80 to 90,000 tokens to spend every event. And that way I'm not necessarily ending up with undergeared champions. Because I like, as you can see from earlier when I showed you like how balanced all my champions were in terms of item levels, I like everybody to have a rough, like equal gear. If they're at least all epic, great. And then I like to keep the item levels, as close as possible. Obviously guilds are going to vary. But whatever I can do to keep equal power, that lets me hop into something like this with champions that people might not normally use, like Farida for something like this, right? Or keep Grama in, like, I don't know, whatever. Well, Grama's good at a wall, but, people probably wouldn't normally do this with Farida. I like her, though, so that's what we used. And because she's got decent power, I can. Do you know if the game counts Avern's mirror images when it displays your DPS? Base DPS is not something you ever want to look at, so if that's what you're talking about, then I would say just kind of ignore it. We're going to hop back out actually to the Sword Coast and just set up a Mad Wizard farm in the background while we answer questions. It should be, yep, set up on speed, 330, yep, all right, it's ready to go. So yeah, first off, like up here where there's an option between base DPS and running average, running average is a little more accurate. Base DPS is generally not super accurate. I did a deep dive into this a few weeks back, Garwar's Guide to Time Gates and Combat. So going over the difference between base DPS, average DPS, and Bud, your base ultimate damage down here. I talk about that in the combat portion of that. You might want to go check that out. But basically you want to be judging your overall damage based off your Bud down here. Base DPS is generally speaking a lie, as we like to call it. It's not just a meme. It's really not great. And I actually turn my DPS display to show average. And I still don't even really pay attention to the average that often, because Bud is really all that matters. You don't need 3 different measurement systems when one is more accurate. Like, just use the one that's more accurate. Does it matter if you're using blacksmithing contracts on blue versus epic? I mean, it'll work either way. The only thing that you're restricted on with blacksmithing contracts is making sure that the champion has all 6 pieces of gear first. But yeah, again, I wait until they're all epic to use them, because until the champion has all epic gear, simply because I know the item, I like to keep the item labels roughly equal, and I know they're going to continue to go up while I hunt for the epics. If that's not something, but that's a kind of me at endgame wanting to do things in a very measured way and balanced way. Early on, if you just want to pump up, a bunch of your champions that you're using regularly, like multiple champions, you don't want to dump them all into just one. But if you want to pump them all up, go ahead, make them stronger. You keep those item levels forever, so it's you don't have to worry about it. What makes Avern the strongest buffer in the game compared to Nova in the same slot? She seems stronger. So it's the mirrored images. It's mirror image. Let's hop over. Let me just throw a bunch of levels into him. So normally you pick mirror image, you focus on whatever alignment your DPS is. I'm just going to pick good. Doesn't really matter here. And then you go sturdy mirrors to make them last longer, right? So that's the key, really, is his mirror images. It's his very first ability. He casts mirror image every 15 seconds. The image lasts for 30 seconds, 60 with that specialization, right? It buffs its target depending on their tags. So the tags they're talking about are the role tags. It's not very clear, but it's talking about your role tags. So if you have a DPS like Zorbu, whose tags are both DPS and support, he gets a buff from Avern for the DPS tag and for the support tag. So you get multiple buffs on those champions depending on what their roles are. And those buffs get better in a variety of ways. So if we go over here, he's going to cast it specifically, he's going to try to do it on good targets. That's what I chose. Sturdy Mirrors makes it longer. Seeing Double increases the damage of all champions by 50% for each champion adjacent to Avern. The base amount is increased by 50% for each active mirror image effect on the adjacent champions. So this basically means, in a perfect world, you would have Avern in the center of everyone that has a mirror, touching and adjacent to everyone that has a mirror, to get the biggest possible buff. So really it all comes down to his mirror image. Now, the game doesn't tell you a whole lot really about that. So give me 1 second. I will tell you exactly. I will go over to my guide for him on the subreddit. And I'll tell you exactly what each of his tag buffs do, because that's really where the power comes in. And really why probably some people might underestimate him, because they don't understand what he's doing for each specific tag. If we come over here, ba-boom, under mirror image, for DPS, he increases the champion's DPS by 600%. For support, he increases the global DPS by 200%. And for tanking, he increases all healing effects on the champions by 2 HP. These go up, right? This is the base value, but this is stuff that gets modified, right? This ability receives multiple upgrades while leveling, is modified by specialization choices, supported by an item, and supported by a feat, right? So you can modify all this. So basically, it means that when you mirror image your DPS champ, their damage is going to go way up. When you mirror image the support champs, they're going to get buffs that make like the global DPS go up. And by having multiple of those buffs out, like by having 4 of them out, you're potentially getting 4, these all multiplied against each other. It isn't just 4 times this. Each one of these bonuses is a multiplier that goes in the row of multiplication. So if you have 4 DPS supports, let's say that was what you were going to get. You're going to get 600 by 600 by 600 by 600. Like each of them, each DPS is going to get their little 600% buff. So Zorbu would get it. Then all of those supports are going to be, this is where it comes in. It's like 200 by 200 by 200 by 200. That's where the multiplier comes in. But again, this goes way up based off whatever your ability is, like whatever your power for mirror image is. So like right now, what's his mirror image? 787.6% is the multiplier on that. So it's going to create this crazy, we got to actually get him in. Hold on. It's going to create this crazy buff, right? And it doesn't even really tell us here, and it should. We need that information. That would probably make Avon a little clearer to everybody, as if we got the actual readout of how much is he getting buffed here. But it's insane. It's insane. You'll put Avon in and you'll have him in and you'll not be killing. And then you'll see his mirror image shift to like away from a tank onto a support, or it wasn't on your DPS and it shifts onto your DPS, and then suddenly you're melting everything. Yeah, it's a big deal. That's what makes him the best buffer in the game. Not the best support. Krull's the best support. But he's the best buffer. Does it matter if you use... Oh, no, we already did that one. Oh, just lots of Abram ones in a row. Y level 80. Oh, I think I addressed that one already. Do you have item levels of 80 on your B and C tier on all of them? I don't care about what my tiers of champions are. I literally, if you look, I mean, we can go through here. 81, 80. These are the lows. 80. Like they're all, here's 82. Like I said, like this is, Avern's the best buffer in the game. I know this. His average item level is 81. Zorbu is the best DPS in the game, 99. Only because he's gotten a bunch of gilded stuff from packs and stuff, so it took his item levels up. Krull's at 80, right? And then I'm going to go down to one of the worst DPSs in the game. Well, Black Viper probably isn't the worst, but she's close. There's an 80. Rosie, where's Rosie? She's the worst DPS in the game. There's 80, right? Like, so the floor is 80. The high is outrageous. Like, here's 1149. But that's because this isn't a core this is a core champion. So they've been getting all those duplicate item levels from all those silver and gold chests for over 3 years now. So they're always going to be super high level. That's not what I care about. What I care about is where are the lowest levels at. And right now, they're at like 80. So even Nrak, who his job is to give everyone gifts or eye focus, and that's not an item. Even I have him at item level 80, right? Like, yeah, everybody's at 80. What's the best way to get more contracts? Blacksmithing or bounty, they all come from opening chests. So you want to open lots and lots and lots of chests. It's nice to buy familiars and skins with your gems, but if you want more contracts, either blacksmithing or bounty, you need to buy lots and lots of gold chests. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like I said, it's not about... Okay, there are people... Let's talk about the item level thing. There are people who really just go all in on their item levels for one champion. Or maybe just a couple of the meta champions. You know, that's great if that's what you want to do. I think I just showed we rolled through patron stuff for Vajra, like 2 different patron variants for Vajra that are higher level patron variants. Pretty easily rolled through. I did not have optimal champions in there, and that's solely on the back of the fact that I have decent gear on all of my champions. But I can do 100% of Mert's variants. I've done 98% of Vajra so far, and I'll try to knock this out here soon. And I've done 93% of Strahd so far. That number's actually artificially lower because I had them unflag a couple so I could do them for you tomorrow. So basically, I can do all the stuff in the game without pumping thousands of item levels into the meta champion. And if I can do it, you can do it, right? There's so much more power available from getting like all your global perks for all of them, like as you slowly work your way up through it, and filling out your Modron core, like that's more worth the effort. And to do those things, to complete all those, to get that stuff, you need to be able to do variants. And in variants, you're not necessarily going to be able to use your meta champions. So you're putting a lot of power into things that you're not going to be able to use everywhere. So I don't know. Don't gimp yourself by limiting yourself to just a few champions. And if you dump all of your stuff into one champion, you run the risk of them nerfing that champion. Basically balancing it because it needs to be balanced. Krull, I'm looking at you. And then when they balance them, you're just going to get mad that you put all of that stuff into one champion, and then they got brought back in line. How did you get that skin for Dinar? So the Chef Dinar skin was from PAX Australia one year, and I think so far that's the only way you can get it. It may show up in other places eventually, but usually when they have like a promoted thing like that, where they're working with another company like Acquisitions Incorporated, right? Like they're working with Penny Arcade, then there's contractual obligations to how they give something out for at least a specific amount of time. I don't know what that is for this. How is Ayla compared to Tyrell as a tank? At end game, I consider those two the top 2 tanks. I would say Tyrell's the stronger one, usually, with Ayla second, but ultimately they're probably fairly equal. I think Tyrell's probably stronger for me just because of the massive amounts of item levels he gets by having been receiving item levels for 3 years, right? Until I do like the full on tier list guide for them, though, I don't know. They're roughly about Tyrell and Ayla probably are equal, but it's going to depend on your item levels, right? But it's basically they're those strong tanks because of those shields. They have what I call uncapped health shields because they're not capped at a percentage of their health. The shield is based on their health, so it is capped by their health. It is modified by their health, but it isn't capped. Like Calliope, when they first changed the in-game meta of how like healing and tanking and shielding worked, Calliope did not have a 200% cap, like 2% health cap on her shields, and you could basically put anyone in the front. Like you could put a DPS champion in the front column, and they could become a tank champion just because of her shield, like her temp HP shield. So they capped it at 200% so that you couldn't do that anymore. But they didn't cap the tanks. So the tanks are now super strong, and shields make for the super best in-game tanks, because instead of getting beaten in the face like Briv, people like to throw Briv up there as a top tier tank, but Briv's effective health, like his bonus for his healing, is limited to his health pool, like 99.99% of his health pool. Like you can't do more than Briv, you can't hit Briv for more than his health is, or else he just dies. But you can hit Tyrell and Ayla for multiple times what their base health is, and it just comes out of their shield and they keep going, right? So that's why they're better than Briv. Gar, what's the best way to get Esmeralda's achievement for debuffing? I haven't really done it yet, honestly. I think I would need to. I mean, we've only got 5 minutes left, so I don't have time to do it. Oh, that's the wrong button. I always do that. I haven't bothered to getting it yet. Yeah. I mean, count 1,000 active debuffs on enemies targeted by her ultimate. I mean, basically, I figure I'll probably go super deep at some point. Like, I've got to do a wall run here, because my favor is only for the event. What is it? E28, and I know I can get into the 40s. And Jarlaxle, I was waiting for a gold find buff, and that's basically in the form of Jarlaxle. So I'll push super deep this weekend. And when I'm at a wall, I'll stop a boss somewhere. I'll put in Ayla and Grama and Wolfgar, so that the boss basically can never get to me. And then I'll just rotate bunches of debuffs onto it, and then I'll just put a familiar on Esmeralda's ult and let it do its thing until the achievement pops. I mean, that seems like it would work. Isn't Minsk better for your speed farm? No. Minsk is he's not hot garbage as a speed farmer, but he's pretty garbage. I think hot garbages would be Xander. Xander's hot garbage for speed. But Minsk only, his ability is really, he will spawn an extra enemy very, very rarely. That's his speed ability. That doesn't, I don't care. I don't care. All of these other DPS I have in that instead of him are multi-hit DPS, which burn through the barricades in Mad Wizard super fast. So Minsk wouldn't do that. So I use them instead. What was my Grama spec? In those pushes I was doing, it was Arctic. That tends to be what I use her as, is in the back for, like with Arctic spec, because it slows down their movement speed and their attack speed, and it makes them take more damage from everything. Has a meta champion ever become non-meta in this game? Yep, you're looking at one on screen right now. You're looking at two on screen right now. Both Farida and Birdsong at certain points were meta champions. And the changes to the game over time removed them from the meta. That's why my Farida has... Well, here, let's go look. Farida's going to be higher than average. Yeah, she's got 126. Birdsong's got 179. That was back when I, would put extra power into my meta champions. And that wasn't even a ton, but even then I was like, then the game changed and I was like, well, can't use them anymore. Barrowan was a meta champion for a long time, and people put tons into her. I know some people spent outrageous amount of money on Binwin back when he had one of his items gave him a chance to attack again. And if you got it super high, it was 100% chance that he would attack again after attacking. And you could just attack once, and then he would just keep hitting until something died. Like it would just go forever. You just get so many hits out of him. That got changed, obviously. We're almost out of time. So quick reminder, I'll try to get a couple of these real quick, but a quick reminder, tomorrow will be Garwar's Guide to difficult Strahd variants. So we will probably hit up 2 out of the 3 of Wait What? The Gargoyle, those are both water deep adventures or Veterans Brigade in Sword Coast for Strahd's version specifically. So if you have questions about Strahd stuff, and Strahd's patron stuff in general, come tomorrow. We'll be doing some explanations for at least 2 of those 3, and we'll see how that goes. If I unlock a champion level where that gives increase all champ damage, but as before I unlock a character in slot 10, will the slot 10 champ get them when I do bring them? Yeah. So the buffs are just apply to whoever's in your formation. So you can move people in and out of the formation. It's going to increase everything when they're in the formation. Why is Xander hot garbage for speed? Because his speed effect relies on him first attacking and missing, and then someone else attacking and killing something. So in a click kill formation, it never happens because everything dies with click damage. So he could potentially speed you up on the second half of a deep run if you were doing a really deep run, and you would have the ability for him to be in there and then hitting, but like, why not just use Briv? Or anybody else? Like, he has to hit something and then miss, and then you have to hit it for it then to get his bonus. So it's like, it's worse than Minsk. Minsk is at least, this just always has a chance to happen, and it helps in all types of speed formations, whereas his does not. We're going to end there. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, tune in tomorrow for more of that. Tomorrow's Halloween. I don't know that I did my Halloween-y thing today. I don't know that I'll do a Halloween-y thing tomorrow. Because those are more like tutorials that end up on the YouTube channel forever. And I don't know if people want to see a gimmick in their tutorial video. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Be safe if you're going out and celebrating Halloween tonight or tomorrow. Wear masks, not just like over your face, but over your mouth and nose, please. Keep everybody safe. Use hand sanitizer. Just be safe. Things are still not great. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.